Day 2 was our actual first full day in Santorini. We went to Akrotiri, Red Beach, and the Venetian Castle in Akrotiri. We stopped at one of the many restaurants on Parisa Beach to fuel up for the day ahead. After breakfast, we made our way to the bus stop right up the street. There are some advantages and disadvantages of taking a bus in Santorini. They are about €2 a trip, so they're cheap. There are bus stops everywhere, so they're convenient, and all of the buses have AC, which can be nice with the Santorini sun. However, in Santorini, everything truly is on island time. So the buses are not timely. You never know when they're going to come. They can often be crowded, and if you have to transfer in Fira, the main transfer station, it can be quite chaotic. If I had it to do again, I would get an international driver's license from my local AAA before going. It just gives you flexibility so that you can rent an ATV or a dune buggy and drive around the island that way, without having to worry about bus schedules. We had to get off the bus and change buses at one point, and after waiting about 15 minutes, we looked and saw that we only had a couple miles left to Akrotiri, so we decided to walk the rest of the way. It actually worked out well. We got to see and visit a few little spots on the way that otherwise we would have just seen from a bus window, and we got to get our exercise in. And after a pretty long walk in the heat, we arrived at the prehistoric settlement of Akrotiri, nicknamed Santorini's Pompeii. It was believed to be a small fishing village on the coast of Santorini that was destroyed by a volcano in the 16th century BC. Much of it was preserved by the lava and the volcanic ash. It was excavated in 1967. Admission for just Akrotiri was €12, or for €15 you could get a combination ticket which got you into Akrotiri, Ancient Thera, and the Museum of Prehistoric Thera. Next, we decided to go check out Red Beach, which was a half-a-kilometer walk from Akrotiri. However, the terrain was a little rough, with lots of loose gravel. The view of Red Beach from the cliff is absolutely breathtaking, but to be honest, I wouldn't recommend continuing on to the beach. The beach itself is very small, extremely rocky, and the water has tons of seaweed in it, which didn't make it very pleasant to swim in. We went to try to catch the bus back into Parisa, but there was a lot of people at the bus stop and it was taking way too long. So we decided to start walking, and we found this little trail off the side of the road. We followed a narrow path for about half a mile. It ran alongside resident farmland, and we ended up in the village of Akrotiri. We stopped at a little restaurant in the village called Zafora, where we had yet another amazing Greek meal. After lunch, we made our way over to the Venetian castle of Akrotiri. It was a fortress constructed by the Republic of Venice in the 13th century to fortify the island. It sits atop a hill in Akrotiri with wonderful views in all directions. The castle remained in good condition until an earthquake reduced it to ruin in 1956. It was a fun little place to explore, and definitely something I would recommend checking out if you are ever in Santorini. After visiting the castle, we started to walk our way back to Parisa Beach. We decided to stop at the Caldera View. We had passed this place on our way to Akrotiri and decided it would be a nice spot to stop, have a drink, and watch the sunset. We really weren't sure how late the buses ran, so we decided to just keep walking. We happened upon this beautiful church with a gorgeous cemetery right beside it. It was like nothing I had ever seen before. And finally, after a very long day of walking, we ended up back at Perivolos Beach. We stopped at a little restaurant and had some dinner, and then walked the beach road back to Parisa. By this time, we were exhausted. We had walked almost 17 miles that day, so we headed back to our hotel to get some sleep in anticipation of visiting some of Santorini's wonderful wineries the following day. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.